Math Online Academy. Today we want to study the human sense organs. The human sense organs. If someone closes your eyes, you will not be able to know whether there is light around you or not, or whether your place is dark or it has light. And if someone closes your nose, you will not be able to perceive the odor of something around you. And if your ears are closed, you will not be able to hear the sound of something that is passing around you. So these things that help us to know what is happening in our environment, the parts of our body or the organs of our body that help us to know what is happening in our environment. The light is in the environment, the sound is in the environment, and the odor is also coming from the environment. So these things, or the parts of our body that help us to know these things that are in our environment, they are called the sense organs. So sense organs are part of the body or the organs of the body that help us to detect the changes in our environment, or to know the things that are happening in our surrounding, or to detect external stimuli, Don't worry, external stimuli, it simply means the things that will trigger our body to react, or the things that will make our body to react from the environment. External stimuli. A stimuli is anything that will make your body to react. So if we say that it is an external, it means that it is coming from the environment. We have two types of stimuli. We have internal stimuli and we have external stimuli. Internal stimuli are the ones that are inside our body that will make our body to react, like the chemicals inside your body. They can make your body to react in a certain way. When you eat food, the food inside your body can turn your tummy and make your body to react in a certain way. But there are other ones in the environment, like if you step or if you touch a hot iron, it will make your body to react. You feel pain. So that pain is a stimulus. Singular is called stimulus, while plural is called stimuli. I say that stimulus is singular, while stimuli is singular, while this one is plural. And a stimulus is anything that can make your body, or that can trigger your body to react. Like when you touch a hot iron, you will feel pain, then the pain will make your body to react. So the sense organs are the organs in our body that help us to detect external stimuli. Many of them stimuli, like light, can make you to look at certain direction to see where the light is coming from. Like sound, you turn your ear to see or to know where the sound is coming from. Like your nose, can turn your nose or try to perceive to see where the odor you are perceiving is coming from. So these things are external stimuli because they are coming from the environment. So the sense organs help us to detect external stimuli, or the sense organs, they help us to know the changes in our environment, or they help us to know what is happening in our surrounding. These are different ways you can define the sense organs. Now we have 5 sense organs in our body. In the human body, we have 5 sense organs. Number 1 is the eye. Number 2 is the nose. Number 3 is the skin. Number 4 is the ear. And number 5 is the tongue. Now, the eye will help us to see what is around us. Without your eye, you will not be able to know if something is red, or whether it is black, or whether there is light, or whether there is darkness in your place. And you will not be able to know whether somebody is tall or whether the person is short. You will not be able to know the shape of somebody, and you will not be able to know the size of somebody. So the eye helps us to see something and to know how an object around us looks like. So the eye is very, very important. And all these things are the things in our environment. The object is in the environment, and your eye helps you to see it. And we say that the sense organ is anything that helps you to know what is in the environment. So the eye helps us to know what is in the environment. It helps us to know the object that is in our environment, how it looks like. So the eye is a sense organ. Now the nose helps us to perceive odor. Therefore, the nose is a sense organ because the odor is coming from the environment. Now, if somebody touches you, you feel pain and you try to run away, or you touch a hot iron, or you step on a safety pin or razor, you jump up from it. That safety pin or the razor is in the environment, and your skin help you to detect it. It touches your skin and you shake or you run away from it. So your skin is a sense organ because it helps you to detect sharp objects or other things in the environment, to know their presence, to feel the presence of things in your environment. So the skin is for feeling of things in the environment. Now the ear helps us to see, to hear things or sound around us. The ear helps us to hear sounds around us. The sound of car that is coming, the car is in the environment, and your ear helps you to hear the sound of the car. So the ear is a sense organ. Then the tongue, you are eating food, you have to put it, bring it from the environment, you put it inside your mouth. The tongue will help you to know whether the food is tasty, whether it's salty, whether it's sweet, or other way you can classify it or not, or whether it's something you want to eat or something you don't want to eat. So that thing you are eating, the food, is from the environment, and you want to test it for before you put it inside your body or inside your stomach. So the tongue help you to identify it or to detect how it is before you put it inside your body. So the tongue is also a sense organ. I say that the eye help us to see, the nose help us to perceive odor, the skin help us to feel. The skin is for feeling. You feel whether something is cold or hot. You feel whether something is painful or not. Different kinds of feeling, you get it from the skin. Then the ear help us to hear something, and the tongue help us to detect tastes. The ear help us to detect tastes. Now, let's describe the sense organs one after the other. Let's talk about the eye. Now, I've said that the eye helps us to see. The eye is for seeing or for sight. like the shape of something, like the color of something, like the size of something, and other things. That is the function of the eye. It helps us to see the object or the thing that is around us. Now let's describe the eye. Let's show or draw the eye and see the parts that make up the eye and how the eye helps us to see. So let's look at the structure of the eye. Okay, so this is actually how the eye looks like. If you use something to pluck out the eye, this is how it looks like. Now, this front part of the eye, that is the part that is white that we normally see. It is called cornea. Now, after the cornea, this place is filled with liquid. There is something like watery form that you see here after the cornea. When you break the white part, that watery part is called aqueous humor. Aqueous humor or aqueous fluid. It is fluid or watery substance. Then after that, you see this opening here, this small opening. This small opening is called pupil. Pupil, pupil. Now, you see the pupil, the opening, there is two muscles here, this one up and this one down. Two of them, they open. It is now the opening that we call pupil. Each of the muscles is called iris. That is the iris. The iris is the muscle that its opening is what we call the pupil. The function of the iris is that it helps to regulate the amount of light that is entering the eye. If the amount of light in the environment is too much, the pupil will come together to reduce. That is the pupil, the iris will come together, and when the iris come together, it means that the opening between it, which we call the pupil, it will become very small, so that small amount of light will be entering the eye. Because if you allow too much light to enter the eye, it will damage the eye. So the iris, it control the pupil. It determines whether the pupil will be big or whether the pupil will be small. If the amount of the light in the environment is very small, like if we find ourselves in a dark environment, you begin to open your eyes very, very wide so that you'll be able to see something. If you open your eye very wide, the iris, it will open and make the pupil to be very wide so that you'll be able to, more light will enter your eye so that you'll be able to see something. Now, after the pupil and the iris, then you see this one. That is that thing that is black inside your eye, and it is called the lens. That is the lens of the eye, and it helps us to magnify the image, that is what we are seeing, that is the object we are seeing. It will pass through the lens, and the lens will help us to magnify it to determine the size of the objects. The lens will help us to determine the size of the objects. Now, after the lens, at the back of the lens, we still have fluid. So here is also another source at the back of this. That watery substance is called vitreous humor. Vitreous humor. Remember that the one in front is called aqueous humor. We have watery substance after the cornea, and that one is called aqueous humor. That is this one. Then at the back of the lens, there's another one, and we call that one vitreous humor. Now the lens, if you look at the lens, you see that there is something holding the lens together. This one, this muscle here, and another muscle down here. So this muscle that is holding the lens together, it is called ciliary muscle. So ciliary muscle is the muscle that is holding the lens together, that keep it in shape. Then at the back of this eye, this place, you see what we call retina. Retina is where the image is formed. Anything you are seeing inside your eye, it is at the retina that thing is located. Retina, I say that is where the image in your eye is formed. So if you are looking at something, that thing you are looking, the image, that thing you are looking at is an image inside your eye, and that image is found in the retina. Now this one that is like a tail of the eye, it is called optic nerve. Optic nerve. The work of the optic nerve is that when your eye detects a stimulus, or when your eye sees something or light, or anything your eye wants to see, anything in the body must pass through the brain. The brain is the central part that coordinates everything in the body. So it must go to the brain for interpretation. this is where this signal is what send the signal or the stimulus to the brain, for the brain now to interpret it and say that, okay, this thing you are saying is human being, or this one you are saying is goat, or this one you are saying is stone, or this one you are saying is car. So it is the brain that interprets it from the eye, and what takes it to the brain, the optic nerve. Now this one here, this circular thing here is called the tear gland. The tear gland is where the tears come from. When you are crying, the tear that is coming out from your eye is coming from the tear gland. And the tear helps to cleanse the eye. It helps to clean the eye. And it also helps to kill microorganisms. It contains a substance that helps to kill microorganisms that enter the eye. So number one, it cleanses the eye, or it cleans the eye, and it also kills microorganisms in the eye. Now this aqueous humor, it contains nutrients that nourishes both the humor, both the aqueous humor and vitreous humor. They contain nutrients that help to nourish the eye, and they also contain oxygen. All these things they help to keep the eye alive. They contain oxygen and nutrients that help to nourish the eye and keep it alive. That is the function of these fluids in the eye, the aqueous fluid, or the aqueous humor, and the vitreous humor. So this is basically all we have in the eye, the structure of the eye. So these are the different parts of the eye and what they do, and I believe you can describe these things very well. Now, in this lesson, we have talked about the meaning of sense, and we talked about the different types of sense organs. We talked about the eye, we talked about the nose, the skin, the ear, and the nose, and the tongue, and we talked about what they do. Now we describe the eye in detail. We draw the structure of the eye, and we describe the different parts of the eye and what they do. Now in our next lesson, we are going to talk about what can go wrong, or the defects of the eye. That is the problems that we used to have with the eye. We call them defects of the eye. So we are going to study the different problems of the eye, and then we talk about other sense organs. Now your assignment. Your assignment here is your assignment today is very simple. What you are going to do for me is to draw the human eye, label it correctly, and write out the function of each part of the human eye. So this is your assignment. You do this and you submit. Thank you.